In this video, I'll be talking about the CBSE Class 12 rechecking and revaluation process and schedule for 2020. A lot of students have applied for revaluation this year because they are not satisfied with their performance in the CBSE Class 12 Board Examination 2020. And hence, they applied for rechecking so that they can improve their marks, increase their marks, and they will be able to get more marks than what they previously got. In this video, I'll be talking about what is revaluation, the entire process, and I'll be explaining you step by step the process involved in revaluation. So the entire process for revaluation is online and it's chargeable. So you have to pay money for revaluation. And you have to apply for revaluation only in the official website of the CBSE board, which is cbse.nic.in. The entire process of rechecking and revaluation in CBSE Class 12 board examination is a three-step process. The first step is the retotaling of your CBSE Class 12 marks. The second stage is request for photocopy of your CBSE Class 12 board examination answer scripts. And the third and the last step is the revaluation of your answer scripts. The retotaling, photocopy, and revaluation of your answer scripts happen sequentially. So they happen one after the other, one at a time. The students have to first apply for retotaling of marks and then request for the photocopy of the answer scripts and then apply for revaluation of specific questions in which they have doubt. This year, due to COVID-19, the CBSE was unable to conduct a lot of examinations for Class 12 students, and hence their result was average. CBSE has given them average marks, and hence the CBSE has decided to only reevaluate the answer scripts of students who have given the CBSE board examination this year for that particular subject. So if you're not given the CBSE board examination, then you will not be eligible for reevaluation of that particular subject. Only if you have written the CBSE board examination for that subject, then only you can evaluate the performance of your answer scripts. Now let me explain the process involved in rechecking and reevaluation of your CBSE Class 12 board examination results. The first step is the retotaling of marks. So what happens in retotaling is that your answer script or the booklet will be checked and any marks will be awarded to you, will be checked again, and then all the marks will be total for each and every questions. So the marks which you get for all the questions will be totaled, and then the final total will be checked if it's valid or not. And they will check whether marks are given for each and every questions, whether they are missed, whether the examiner has not given any marks for that particular question, or they will check what is actually the marks which are given for each and every questions, and then they will sum up all the marks, and the final results is the retotaling of marks. If there is any mistake in the retotaling of marks, and if it's a mistake by the CBSE board that examiner has not given you marks for the specific question, then marks will be given and your marks will increase after retotaling of marks. The second stage is applying for photocopy of your answer scripts. In the first stage, if you're not satisfied with your marks after retotaling, you will have the option to apply for the photocopy of your answer booklet and asking CBSE to give you the answer script so that you can view your answers and go through that, right? And then you can find out where exactly you need more marks, and then you can request for the CBSE to give you more marks by choosing specific questions in that answer scripts. So you know which question will you need more marks. So for that question, you just have to challenge the CBSE board. You're challenging the CBSE board and asking the CBSE board to give more marks for this specific question because you deserve more marks in this. So you have to find out those questions inside your answer booklet, the photocopy, which will be sent to you by the CBSE board online, and you will receive the photocopy. And as soon as you receive that, you can, you can then apply for reevaluation, which is the next step. So once you receive the photocopy in stage 2, if you're not satisfied with your performance, or if you feel that CBSE has not given you marks, then you can, challenge the questions by choosing the questions which you feel marks has to be given, and you can ask the CBSE board to give you marks only for the specific question. So CBSE will not check the entire paper. It will check only the specific questions which you have challenged the CBSE board to check. So this is reevaluation. So reevaluation means the CBSE examiner will again check the answers which you have written and to see if it matches with the marking scheme provided by the CBSE board. And if it's matching, if the answer is correct, then your marks will increase because the CBSE will give you marks. But if the CBSE feels that you have not written appropriately, or if the CBSE feels that extra marks is given, then your marks will go down. It will be reduced by the examiner. So you have to be careful before applying for evaluation. Only apply for that question only if you feel that you have written everything based on the NCERT textbook, because in the marking scheme which is given to the examiner, the answer will be based on what is given in the NCERT textbook. So if you have written something which is matching the marking scheme, then only you apply for evaluation. But the marking scheme will not be given to you by the CBSE board. Only photocopy will be given. So you have to go through your answers and find out the answers in which you want more marks, and then you have to apply for only that specific questions where you need more marks, in which the CBSE examiner has to check and give you more marks. And for all this, you have to pay money, right? You have to pay approximately 700 rupees for one subject. So based on, you can apply for retotaling for any subject you want. How many subject ever you want, you can apply for retotaling and rechecking and reevaluation, but only those subjects which you have given this year. Okay, for example, if the CBSE has not conducted any subject, then you cannot give for reevaluation. So only apply for reevaluation if you have written the CBSE board examination by going to an exam center. Only those subjects you can apply for reevaluation. You can apply only for theory. You cannot apply for practical examinations. So I've given the entire schedule for rechecking and reevaluation of the CBSE class 12 and class 10 board examination here. As you can see, you have got the CBSE class 12 results on 13th of July 2020, and now you have this option of retotaling of marks going on between, we have 17th of July to 21st of July, and after that comes the obtaining of photocopy of your answer booklet, which happens in August 1st to 2nd, and then after that comes the reevaluation, which happens in August 6 to 7. So it all is a sequential process, one at a time. You will be able to get the final output of the results. After every process, you will only be able to get after a month. So you must understand that you will be able to get the final output or the final results after all the reevaluation process only after a month. And that is also decided by the CBSE board. You will only get the results either through email or through post. The CBSE will send a new mark statement to you or to your school, and you can collect it to your school, or you can get the CBSE class 12 results online. So for all the latest information regarding the CBSE board, you have to visit the website cbse.nic.in. You cannot visit any other website because the official website of the CBSE board is cbse.nic.in. So let me summarize the entire process of rechecking and reevaluation involved in CBSE class 12 board examination 2020. The first stage will be retotaling of your marks, in which marks will be retotaled to check if the total marks is correct provided by the CBSE board. The second stage would be applying for photocopy, in which you will be asking or requesting for the CBSE to give you the mark sheet so that you can view your own answers and to find out whether you have written all the answers correctly. And if you feel that you deserve more marks in a particular question, you can challenge the CBSE to give you marks by challenging specific questions. And the third stage is, if you are not still satisfied after challenging, what you can do is apply for reevaluation so that the CBSE examiners will check all the answers which you have written for that particular question, whether it matches with the marking scheme provided by the CBSE board, and if you have written the answer but the CBSE has not given you marks, then you will eventually get an increase in your marks because the CBSE will give you marks. And if you have not written properly, and if the CBSE examiner finds out that they have given you more marks, then they will decrease the marks, or they will cut the marks and your marks will go down. So only apply for revaluation only if you're 100% confident that your marks will improve.